Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. And in our top stories today, interesting title from Newsweek here. Hamas calls for immediate end to war after Trump election win. Now, this is a bit tongue-in-cheek, I would say snark, from Newsweek, who of course would be writing these sorts of titles if it were a Democrat, of course, having just won the election. But I'm seeing a bunch of snark from Newsweek, but I still think it was interesting and worth covering because it'll make for a great title, of course. It'll make for great attention. And as I told the left, who is obviously very upset and distraught and despondent right now, the media is going to eat up the fact that Donald Trump is president again. They are gleeful. Believe me, behind the scenes, they are happy that they're going to get another 4 years of Orange Man Bad to trounce on Trump, and not to bury the lead here or get too far ahead for tomorrow's Friday vlog. And I'm going to show you why I say this, because from tomorrow's headlines that we're going to be covering in the Friday vlog from Politico, Donald Trump's victory means the nation's first convicted criminal turned president-elect is headed for the White House instead of a prison cell. And this is the absurdity. This is the snark. This is the absurdity. This is the hyperbolic language. This is the framing that the Establishment Uni-party media engages in, because the media is an extension of the Democrat Party. It's not a mystery. And yeah, I think they're going to be very excited at the fact that Donald Trump is going to be president. But I did find it kind of interesting that Newsweek went with this kind of very clickbait title because, of course, again, it's snark. If this were based on something that Joe Biden had done, or this was coming to an end via Joe Biden, they would have written a totally different title. A senior Hamas official has called for an immediate end to Israel's war against the group in the Gaza Strip and a plan to achieve Palestinian statehood in remarks shared with Newsweek in the wake of former President Donald Trump's election victory. The election of Trump as the 47th president of the United States is a private matter for the Americans, Hamas political bureau members and spokesperson Bassam Naim told Newsweek. But Palestinians look forward to an immediate cessation of the aggression against our people, especially in Gaza, and look for assistance in achieving their legitimate rights of freedom, independence, and the establishment of their independent self-sovereign state, with Jerusalem as its capital. That's a stretch. That is a stretch. The blind support of the Zionist entity Israel and its fascist government at the expense of the future of the people and the security of stability of the region must stop immediately, he added. So they are taking advantage of the fact, really kind of a slight towards Joe Biden, maybe even a dig towards the Establishment Uni-party, by suggesting that they have failed the Palestinian people or the Palestinian movement and so forth. Now, please understand that the Middle East situation is a very complex situation, and I empathize with both sides. But I do side with Israel in many of these particular cases because of just the history of the region, and of course just the biblical implication too for me as a believer. But nonetheless, I try to stay relatively objective about it in general, in the political scheme of things, as it were. And this is really a dig towards Joe Biden and the administration also. So despite the snark title of the article, clearly it is a dig, because we heard here from Hamas themselves, saying essentially that the Establishment Uni-party is incapable of resolving this issue when they, of course, are having been completely trounced there in Gaza and in the region. They are looking for a way out of this because they're tired of it. Even the people, even the Palestinians that are there are tired of it also. They're tired of Hamas as well because they just want to live their life like everyone else wants to live their life. So from the week, did Hamas call for the end of the war in Gaza after Donald Trump's win? Here's what happened. So, of course, here we have the media trying to reiterate and over-explain when they very rarely explain at all. After Donald Trump won the U.S. presidential election in 2024, Hamas political bureau member Bassam Naim said the United States should end supporting Netanyahu's Zionist Israel. So that's essentially what he's saying. So in a way, he is basically saying, as we just mentioned, that the current Establishment Uni-party surrogate president, Joe Biden, who was uninstalled, and that's not an exaggeration on my part. They have to exaggerate and create things for Donald Trump. But this is actually what's actually happening. So you will see here, so did Hamas call for the end of the war in the Gaza Strip? The question is lingering in the air after a media report said Hamas is expecting U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's help in ending the ongoing war with Israel. Yeah, the Abraham Accords. It just, the hyperbolic, psychotic left that keeps saying, name one thing that Donald Trump has done. Just name one thing he's done. Well, the Abraham Accords, that's one thing. I mean, I could name like 26 things. And then, of course, you could always go to the White House org and see the several hundred things. But they try to do that as a gotcha thing. It doesn't work for me, but, they try to do it to people who may not be as versed in politics or current events. Following the victory of Republican candidate Donald Trump in the U.S. presidential elections in 2024, Hamas political bureau member and spokesperson Bassam Naim, in a media interaction with the Newsweek, said he hoped the conflict to come to an end with the help of the White House. The U.S. government intervention could help achieve the long pending term of Palestinian statehood, he added. So this is a dig towards the current administration. Man, it's awesome, though. It's awesome. And, so in tomorrow's Friday vlog, we're going to go into the absurdity that people saw through when it came to the election. Obviously and clearly, it is an overwhelming victory for Donald Trump. You guys have to let me know down in the comments if you think that his victory is going to help the world. It's already helping in a sense, like he mentions there in Mexico too, when they were going to build that big car plant, that ended up not being built because Trump says he's going after them with tariffs. And so the impact of Donald Trump's victory is already happening right now, and even in Ukraine, because I watched Denis Dazadeh from Ukraine, the pilot guy that I've been watching pretty much since the start of the Ukraine war, basically the start of the Ukraine war. And he was covering the election too, because this is going to impact them. Trump's victory is going to impact the world, right? He's going to put the world on notice, and he's going to say, okay, you're done bullying our country. You're done using us as a meal ticket. You're done with borrowing money, billions upon billions and billions of dollars from us, and getting our money when we needed it for things like FEMA and other things for our own people. So this is very fascinating that the world is already changing at the sign of President-elect Donald Trump. And I still cling to the fact that he needs to get that fictitious office of the President-elect podium lectern from Joe Biden, and start using that just to oh man, I can only imagine the left's minds breaking when they see that office of the president, which doesn't exist, of course. It's totally fictitious, but the Democrats created it because that's what they do. They contrive things and they generate things and they do the absurd things that they've gotten away with now. But I am so glad that is going away with the victory of Donald Trump. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. What sort of an impact do you think this is going to have across the world now that Donald Trump has his victory, and the enthusiasm, the excitement of getting our country back, recovering our country? It's been hijacked. Our culture, our institutions, our justice system have all been hijacked. Absolutely extraordinary. And speaking of which, I have now for the second time been booted off of TikTok, so I've removed that link down in the public section. But down in the public section or description, or in the public section of the video description, I have my links across social media, so take advantage of that and follow me there. As well as if you're a frequent orderer of Amazon or Prime member, you can use my landing page link down there below as your bookmark. Use that, and when you place your orders, it helps out the channel. But of course, all the likes and shares and the comments do help out the channel. Thank you guys across All New Tech, BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey. Lots of changes there also with Odyssey. But we're going to get through it. It's been an awesome 2024, amazing 2024. It's paid off. Our frustrations, our irritations, all that has all paid off. So that's amazing. Appearing there on the screen for all of you watching on YouTube, that would be the channel icon. You guys can click on that to subscribe, as well as to select notifications. That way you know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys tomorrow in the Friday vlog.